Here we go again, another Sunday. Would you believe it? We're now into, what are we into? Oh no, Monday is the 1st of July, isn't it? Yes, no it's not, it's Tuesday. What am I talking about? Tuesday is the 1st of July. 18 degrees centigrade, 62 Fahrenheit, 88% humidity, 10-12 millibars on the barometer. The wind, looking at the flag and the cherry tree, the wind is from the west and it's blowing a hoolie again. In fact, last night we had rain, quite a bit of rain, and now it's sort of nothing. It's one of those nothing days where it's a bit windy, it's a bit sunny, it's a bit showery and whatever. This episode is about, well, not all about, your town and how it's changed over the years. What's happened in your town? What changes have you seen in your lifetime? Major changes. I don't mean a local sweet shop opening and then moving up the road a bit or changing its name. What major changes have you seen? I have seen a lot in my town. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Let's put a figure on it. 1% is good, 99% is bad. No, I'm joking. I'm sure that it's not all bad. But I do wonder sometimes when I see things going on. There's a fence being built near to us, a wooden fence they're putting up. And I've been watching the people do it. Dig a hole, put the wooden post in the hole, fill the earth all around the wooden post, stamp it down, job done. Well, hang on a minute. Isn't that going to rot after a couple of years? That post is not oak. In the old days they used oak. It's not oak. I don't know what it is, pine or something. That's not going to last 5 minutes, is it? I was watching it in the wind the other day, this one of the fence posts, and it was wobbling back and forth. The fence post, it should be concreted in. It should be, I don't know. It should be done properly. Nothing is done properly, is it? It would have been quite a nice fence. They're using the Harris rails, you know, and the separate vertical slats. The trouble is, a lot of the vertical slats they've put in, I had a look, they're warped already. It's only just going up and they're warped. What it's going to look like a year from now, I don't know. Well, it'll probably blow over. That won't stand up to the slightest breeze. Right, that's enough about fences. Who's not interested in fences? I'm not. Okay, no more on fences. That brings me on nicely to fun fairs in the old days. Well, it doesn't at all, but we'll have a change of subject. When I was a child, I used to go over to the local fun fair. We always had fun fairs in the summer. They come to the local park or a local field somewhere. Of course, we don't have local fields somewhere anymore. They're all houses. And it was great fun. The fun fair was great fun. All the kids would pile over there. I remember going on the bumper cars, you know, the Dodgem cars. Who remembers on the Dodgems, you'd get in your car, you're going around, and one of the workers, one of the lads, you know, teenage lad, he'd jump on the back of your car, wouldn't he? And he'd leap from car to car. Why they did that, there can only be one reason. They're showing off. Because you get a lot of teenage girls at these places. They're showing off. Anyway, this one lad, I wasn't actually on one of the rides. I was standing by the side watching the cars going round. He was jumping from car to car, holding on to the post at the back, you know. And he slipped and he fell off. He was all right. I'm laughing because he was all right. But he got hit by another car, went into him because he was on the floor. And he got up and staggered off. He was limping and holding his arm, and I thought, well, that'll teach you, showing off to the girls like that, that'll teach you. Anyway, that's when I was a child. When I got a little bit older, let's say 12, I wasn't bothered about the rides and all that nonsense. I was going round the back, following the big cables going across the grass to the diesel generators on the back of these lorries. Huge engines and big generators and knife switches and gauges. Oh, wow. Excellent. I was in my element. I loved all that. I wanted one. I still do. I'd like a lorry with a diesel generator on the back. I could park it out the front of our house and run it. I don't suppose the neighbours would appreciate that. That's when I was about, I suppose, 12. As time passed, I didn't go over to the fun fair for the rides like I did when I was a child. I didn't go there so much for the generators, although I did a little bit. My interest was always there. But I started to go over there to look at the girls. How things change, isn't it? Child goes over there for the rides and has fun. What is that? What do they call it between sort of young and teenager? Is it betwixt? I don't know. They call it something, don't they? I can't remember. So that was the generator stage. And then I moved on to, I don't know, 14 years old, whatever I was. And I was looking at the generators, yes, but looking at the girls even more. It's funny, isn't it, looking back? But the fun fair rides were great. It was always packed. And they opened, of course, at the weekend, because during the week you're at school. And on a Saturday, they would open, I think, midday or something, lunchtime. And they're open all afternoon into the evening. It really was good. I think we still have fun fairs here, and very rarely see them. In the old days, there was always a fun fair. Well, there was more than one. You get one down the seafront, one in a farmer's field, one in the local recreation ground. They were everywhere in the summer. It was great fun for the kids. Now I think you only see one or two. They're probably not profitable anymore. I mean, running all those vehicles, all those rides, what with the rules and regulations, the cost of diesel to run the generators, I mean, the whole thing, I doubt that it's a viable proposition anymore. Circuses went, of course. Who remembers circuses? I didn't like the circus. Did you? Raise rants at protonmail.com. Did you like the circus? What did you do at fun fairs? Did you look at the girls like I did? Circuses I was never interested in. I went to 2 or 3, my parents took me to, and I didn't like them. I didn't like the smell of the animals and everything. I didn't like the way the animals were treated. I thought the whole thing was silly. Standing on the back of an elephant. What's the point in doing that? Standing up on the back of a horse and going around the ring. And is that meant to be good? I mean, what's the point? The lion tamers, well, those lions should be out in the jungle, the African savannas or wherever they came from, not stuck in a circus like that. Nellie the elephant had the right idea. She packed her trunk and said goodbye to the circus. Well done, Nellie. The word I was looking for, is it in between? Is, between kind of pre-teen and early teen, whatever. I think it's in between. Anyway, that's enough of that. Several people have emailed me and messaged me about my computer. Do you remember I said I had a problem? The computer won't talk to my radio, and the radio won't talk to the computer. They've fallen out. The radio is a transmitter receiver, a transceiver, and the computer, you can control the radio with the computer. I discovered the problem in the end. It's ridiculous. Why doesn't the computer, as I said during the week, didn't I? Wednesday. Why doesn't the computer say, I can't talk to the radio because blah, blah, blah. I shall fix it for you. And I know that because I'm a computer and I'm not stupid. Well, you are stupid. Anyway, it was some daft thing, so I won't go into it because it's boring. We didn't have that, as I said on Wednesday. We didn't have that in the old days. You didn't have to work out why the computer won't work. Why won't it do this? Why won't it do that? Other people come along, I'll have a look at it for you. Of course, they wreck it. There's only one person I know who knows all about computers. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Someone that lives in North Carolina. Happy days. And he's coming over later this year. I've got my list of jobs. Where's my list? Here we are. I've got a ream of A4 here. No, I haven't really. It's not a ream of A4. It's only about 300 sheets. No, not at all. I've sorted out the problem, and I sorted out another problem with a browser. You see, we didn't have this. As I said just now, we didn't have all this nonsense. In the old days, you didn't have a computer that doesn't work, or it wants a password, so you make up a password. No, that's not good enough. All right, make up another one. No, that's not good enough. I'll make up another one. Oh, this is a good one. That one's already in use. Oh, forget it. I can't be bothered. I'll go fishing instead. Just briefly, the browser problem was it wouldn't play audio on a certain website I listened to. It's a amateur radio website. You couldn't hear the audio, okay? It's a receiver. It's a web-based, software-defined receiver. Won't go into that. It didn't work. I had to download the Opera browser. You know Opera? No one uses that, do they? And it worked on that. Anyway, I then went back to Firefox and found out what the problem was. Hidden away in the settings, it says, allow apps to autoplay audio. Click that and I could hear, why didn't the computer say to me, you haven't clicked this, or shall I click that for you? Stupid thing. Back to changes in your town. We used to have swimming baths, public swimming baths, which were rather nice down the town. That's gone, of course. It's now an insurance company on the site. And we used to go there from school in a coach. The old coach, 1950s type coach that you see on these old films. I remember it well. I didn't like it. I couldn't swim. The person teaching us to swim was about as much use as a chocolate teapot. We sat on the edge with our feet in the water, all us lot from class, whatever we were, primary school. How old were we? I don't know, 6 or 7. Absolute waste of time. Of course, some of the kids could swim already, so the teacher was concentrating on them. There's me sitting on the edge, thinking, what am I doing here? Why are my feet in the water? I don't want to do this. I'd rather go and pull a radio to bits. So I can't swim. I still can't swim, and I blame that teacher. But the sad thing is that building has gone. I remember it so well. I remember the changing cubicles. They were all painted green. Heen Baths, if anyone local is listening, Heene. Heen Baths at the end of Heen Road, just a few yards from the sea. Perhaps we should have gone down to the sea. Do you remember the tar on the beach where the ships used to pump out their oil tanks, wash it all out with seawater? The oil would come up onto the beach, solidify or sort of fairly soft type tar. And you go down the beach, you sit down, it's all over your clothes, everywhere. That doesn't happen quite so much these days. Well, I think it's pretty rare now. You'd also see dead birds and dead fish all along the seashore where they've got this oil on them. So the swimming pool was gone. We've now got a new swimming pool here. Absolute rubbish place. In fact, we did have another new one. They pulled that down. We've now got another new one. I can't keep up with it. They're all rubbish, aren't they, all these new builds? Do you hate that term, new build? What do you mean, new build? Let's have a good old moan this Sunday, shall we? What can we moan about next? What else has changed in my town? I think I've told you before, there was a huge plot of land. Now, normally on a block, you get 4 roads, don't you? Each side of the block, it might be square or rectangular. And in the middle are all the houses with all their back gardens meeting in the middle. Well, in this particular plot of land with the 4 roads round it, a huge plot, there was one house, a beautiful house. I remember it as a child. Massive house, wonderful grounds all round it, fantastic place. What do? Pulled it down and built a block of flats. And it looks awful. In fact, 2 blocks of flats. It looks awful. It really does. It's dreadful. I was watching a programme on telly the other day about architecture in the old days and now. And some of the things they were showing you on the telly. Was it Sheffield? There's some round building. I don't know what it's supposed to look like at all. It looks dreadful. Any architects listening? If so, what's happened to you? What's the matter with you? Raise rants at protonmail.com. Let me know if you need help. I've just thought back then you couldn't go in the sea really or down on the beach because of the tar. These days it's best not to go down there because of sewerage being pumped out. Raw sewerage. Oh, let's pump it into the sea. That'll get rid of it. What a great idea. Didn't they decide to stop doing that in 1800 and something? Well, they say what goes round comes round, so we're back to sewerage in the sea. And the rivers. Dead fish everywhere. I think that's what they call progress, isn't it? The gas men are still out in the road, footpaths blocked off and stuff all dumped in the road and fences everywhere. They finished up one end, they finished it all, put the tarmac down or whatever, patched it all up. That'll all be potholes come the winter when the water gets in there and it freezes and the ice pushes out the tarmac, but not to worry. So what do? They filled it all in. A week later, they dug it up again. They dug it all up again, seriously. Now they filled it all in again. They're probably waiting to dig it up again next week. The initial letter we had weeks ago, it said it'll be 7 weeks. Then it went on to 2 months. It's 3 months. I think it's now heading for 4 months they've been out there. But not to worry, nothing we can do about it. No point in moaning, is there? But I will. How are you at getting up in the morning? Are you an early bird like me? As you know, I'm awake at 4, half 4. In fact, this morning, I was awake at 3:30. The birds were singing. Daylight was coming. I mean, it was dark, but daylight was actually beginning to happen, you know. 3:30 in the morning. Birds are singing. Absolutely wonderful time of day because it's quiet out there, apart from the birds and the seagulls screaming. It's quiet. People aren't hammering and banging and drilling and shouting. No one's blasting out music. It's just peaceful. It's lovely. Lovely time of day. Of course, by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm tired, so I have to have a little kip. Not every day, but sometimes I just have 20 minutes, half an hour. A power nap. Our niece calls it a power nap, which I think is good. So how are you at getting up in the morning? Are you a morning person? Even in my teens, I was awake. I was out in my shed at 6, where my radios were, you know, my radio hobby. I was out there at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning, getting all the gear turned on and fired up, ready for a day's pirating. Happy days, they were indeed, happy days. Of course, people have said to me, oh, well, you're awake at 4:30 because you go to sleep about 6 o'clock in the evening. No, I don't go to sleep at 6 in the evening. I go to sleep about 10. So what do we need, 8 hours? 8 hours, that would take me through to 6 o'clock. I don't need that much sleep. Was it Margaret Thatcher? Was it her? Said she only needed about 4 hours sleep every night. I need about 6. So 10 till, say, 4 o'clock. That's about right, 6 hours. Sometimes I only have 5 hours. But as I say, I do have a little power nap some afternoons. Now, some people can't get up. I remember friends of mine, teenage friends back in the day, at the weekend, they'd stay in bed till lunchtime. Do you do that? I couldn't do that. What a waste of a day, especially in the summer. Stay in bed till 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, no. Half the day's gone, literally. Half the day's gone. I couldn't do that. I like to get up and start doing things. Are you the same? Raise rants at protonmail.com. Are you the same? Let me know. Are you a morning person? Are you grumpy in the morning? Some people are grumpy, aren't they? Morning, lovely day. That's all you get. What's your plan today? Oh dear, I love it. No, I would rather be a morning person. A friend of mine, he's awake till 2 in the morning. Sometimes 2:30, playing on his radio. You know, he's a radio nerd, the same as me. And he doesn't get out of bed till at least 10 or 11 in the morning. Whereas, anyway, we're all different, aren't we? We're all different. Let me know what you think on that. Are you a grumpy person or a morning person? Something else that's changed in my town, one-way streets. Of course, we didn't have any of those in the early days. And precincts, you know, where they pave it all over for pedestrians. There's one road that used to go from almost one side of the town to the other, well, to the centre anyway. And it was, you could drive there, it was just a road. And then you could go, well, in fact, straight through the town. There was a clock tower roundabout, then you could go straight through, but you can't at all now. I suppose there are too many people, too many pedestrians and too many cars. I feel sorry for people that live outside town. I mean, we're not far. It takes us to walk into town, 15 minutes? It's not far. It's only a mile from here to the beach, the seafront. And to go there, you walk through the whole of the town, so it's not that far. But people that live out of town, the parking is hopeless, it's expensive, it's just a nightmare. We never drive into town, well, unless we have to pick something heavy up. Apart from that, though, we walk. There's no point in taking the car down there. So that's all changed, all these one-way streets everywhere. Another thing that's changed is, you know what I'm going to say about shops in the high street. All the shops have gone. Now we've got cafes. You can buy coffee in every other shop. It seems that way anyway. And phone shops. We've got coffee shops, phone shops. What else is there? Estate agents. I don't think we've got any, or real estate, as you call it in America. Don't think we have any estate agents in town anymore, maybe one or two. But there was a whole host of shops, greengrocer, wool shops, craft shops, butchers, just so much, ironmongers, a whole lot. Anything you wanted was in town. And I think that was really good. And, of course, you could get coffee. There was Joe Lyons' Corner House. That was great in there. I used to love that when I was a kid, going in there. Because they sold proper coffee. None of this latte, thin latte, fat latte, none of that nonsense. Proper coffee. I like the proper coffee. What I do now, I order an Americano with a thing of cold milk on the side. That is as close to proper coffee as I can get. I don't want all these skinny and fat latte things. So I now know what to order if I go into a coffee shop, which I don't anyway, not unless I can really help it. But Trish taught me that. She said to me once, because we were in a coffee shop, she said, "What do you want?" I said, "I don't know. I just want coffee, tin of Nescafe, put the powder in a cup, hot water on it and a dash of milk." And this girl behind the counter's looking at me like, "What's he on about? Nescafe? Spoonful of..." So Trish said, "I think he wants an Americano, that's it, with milk on the side, not put in it, not hot milk and all that rubbish." Anyway, let's not go on about coffee. And of course we've got sandwich shops. Have you got sandwich shops? Is it, I forget what they're called now. I say I never go into town. What's that sandwich place called? I'll remember in a minute. You're all saying it, aren't you? What is it called? I don't know. Anyway, that's all dreadful. They make up sandwiches or French stick things. What are they called? Baps or something? I don't know. I'm hopeless when I go into town. When we go into a cafe, if we have to, which I try not to, I'm hopeless at it all. I don't know what they're talking about. In the old days, I'll have a Nescafe coffee and a cheese roll. You can't have a cheese roll now. Well, what sort of cheese do you want? Oh, well, just cheddar. What sort of bread do you want? We got this, we got that, we got naan bread, we got, what's it? No, not latte bread, that's coffee. I don't understand it all. I just want a cheese sandwich with pickle in it. When I was 15, first went to work, I was the radio and TV apprentice engineer. I was sent over the local cake shop every morning with a whole list. Someone wants a sausage sandwich, someone wants 2 cheese rolls with pickle, ham roll and all this stuff. I used to have this huge list and go over there with the old money, 17 and sixpence, 3 farthingers and all that. That was great fun. They didn't sell anything weird or strange. You want a cheese roll? Do you want pickle in it? Tomato, onion? Yeah, I'll have a bit of pickle, thanks. That's it. Not all this weird stuff. Subway, that's the shop, isn't it? Subway, they make sandwiches while you wait. I mean, I don't know what I want in the sandwich. They've got all these dishes, haven't they? They slop in a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of everything else. Stone the crows, can't cope with all that. If we go anywhere, like Amberley Museum, they've got a lovely restaurant at Amberley Museum, the Lime Burner it's called. We have coffee in there, but we don't eat in, or very rarely do we eat in there. We take a picnic, because that way I know what I'm getting. I'm getting proper homemade brown bread with proper cheese and proper homemade pickle. No rubbish, no nonsense in it, no chemicals or DDT or weed killer or whatever they put in this stuff. I don't suppose they put weed killer in sandwiches. Well, I know they don't. But you never know what's in things, do you? Homegrown. Oh, talking of homegrown, I'm trying to grow runner beans. I've got 4. The 4 seeds, they've done really well. They're coming up nicely. Before that, I had 3 plants that came up. They were eaten by slugs or something. So I replaced those, and I've now got 4 coming up nicely. I did have 5. I was aiming for 6. So I planted 2 more of the seeds, the bean seeds. One just rotted and one came up. I've just been out to check that one. Someone's eaten the top off it. So I've still only got 4 plants. I think next year, if I want 4 plants, I'll grow 12 seeds. I should hopefully that way get 4 or 5. It didn't used to be like this. I remember my dad planting runner beans in the garden. He'd stick all the seeds in and they'd all come up. I think something's happened. They've done something to the runner bean seeds. I don't know what it is. They what do they do? Something, biometric, whatever they do. Probably put weed killer in them. I don't know. Anyway, I've got 4 runner bean plants that are now coming up, so hopefully they will stay there, so I'll have runner beans. Many years ago, when I lived in the village, we had a huge chest freezer, and I liked growing things in the garden, as you know, I always have done. And we had a huge garden, so I don't know how many plants I put in, but I had a row of runner beans. It must be 15 foot long, at least 15 feet. And I had so many runner beans. I was blanching them, cut them all up, boiling water for a minute or so, and then freeze them. And our chest freezer in the garage, it was a huge thing. It was full of runner beans, blanched runner beans. They lasted for ages. I didn't grow any the following year. We still had half a freezer full. So that was a bit over the top. I was giving them away as well to friends, family, neighbours. They're great things to grow. I like growing runner beans, but there we are. Right, why are we talking about runner beans? We've done Subway, haven't we? We've talked about in-betweenies. We've talked about my computer. On the Isle of Wight, talking of how things have changed, there is a toilet museum. I forget what it's called. There's a toilet museum. It is actually a toilet block. And what they've done, they've kept all the old sort of urinal that's in there and everything. It's all original. But it's no longer a toilet, it's a museum. And it's a fantastic place to go. We went there, we've only been once, we're going to go again. And the lady running it, she is so enthusiastic, explaining about the toilets, the cisterns, the flushing system, the urinals, and also different types of, she's got different types of animal poo all on these shelves. That's zebra poo, that's something else poo. It's a fantastic place. It sounds a bit odd, going to the toilet museum. I'll try and find out the proper name in a minute. But if you ever go to the Isle of Wight, you must go and have a look at that. I just found the website, the National Poo Museum. It says here our museum in Sandown, Isle of Wight, is now closed to visitors. Come and find us this summer from July the 1st at the brilliant new Arts and Creativity Centre in Ryde Town. Well, what do you mean closed? What have they done now? Why have they closed it? Looks like they've taken all the museum bits and pieces somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Look it up for yourself. It's poomuseum.org. That's POOMUSEUM.org. The National Poo Museum. It's good fun. Going back to shops for a minute in town, they built in our town here, they built a whole new shopping centre. They called it Teaville Gate. There was a multi-storey car park and big shops and little shops everywhere. A whole sort of a setup. It was quite good, the way they'd done it all, right outside the main railway station. The trouble is, no one wanted to rent the shops. I think some of the bigger companies had the huge, what was it, Comet, had a big shop there and someone else. But all the smaller shops there, no one wanted them. So what they had to do, now don't quote me on this, I think I remember correctly, they said either a reduced rent or rent free for the first year or something. I was reminded of that watching a programme last night on telly about, now where was it? I can't remember where it was now, Sheffield. They built a whole new area of shopping and no one rented the shops, they didn't want them. And of course now, all these years later, this Teeville Gate place has all been pulled down. There were a few shops there in the end. There was a music shop where they sold organs and bits and pieces. There was Comet, of course, the shop. There was a chemist there. But it just didn't work. It was out of the main town, not far out, only around the corner from where I am, in fact. But it just didn't work. And they're always on about, aren't they? Let's revive the high street. We're going to revive the high street, bring life back to the town centre. Well, how can they do that when all the main supermarkets and everything are now out of town? Do you remember Out of Town, Jack Hargreaves? I've been watching that again. Most evenings I have a quick episode of that just to take me back to the good old days. I used to watch Out of Town in the old days, all about country matters, fishing and farms and all these things, old farm machinery, country life back in the, when was it? Was it the 60s Out of Town or the 70s? I can't remember. Probably the 60s. So anyway, I don't know how they're going to revive the high street in the centre of towns. No one's interested. I think the TV programme was Birmingham. In fact, they mentioned several towns, cities. Birmingham, Coventry, was it they mentioned? I can't remember now. But this was old film going back to the 50s, 60s, 70s, where they started redeveloping towns, especially after the war, where a lot of towns had been bombed and they're rebuilding it all to look nice and new and modern. And I don't think people liked it from what they were saying. People didn't like it. High-rise blocks of flats and shops. I don't know. I don't like it anyway. Well, you knew I was going to say that, don't you? I don't like anything. I do. I like the woods. Working from home. Another swift change of subject. Wendy, hello to you. You say, have you ever worked from home, Ray? I have, Wendy. Had you listened to all the podcasts over the last 6 years or more, you would realise, or would have discovered, that I've worked from home for decades, repairing and restoring vintage valve radios from the 1940s. Do you remember that? I've talked about, obviously you don't. Anyway, working from home, she says, what's it like for other people? The difficulty is working from home, you get visitors. I'm in my workshop, working away, restoring a 1940s radio, highly polishing the wooden cabinet or the Bakelite cabinet. Doorbell, ding dong, you go around to answer the door. Hello. Hi Ray, how you doing? Put the kettle on. Right, I'm actually in the middle of work and I've got rather a backlog. I thought I'd pop in and have a chat. Got any biscuits? Dear me. That happened a lot. People popping in. People didn't seem to realise that I worked from home. They just thought I was at home, mucking about. I don't know what they thought I was doing. I don't know how they thought I was earning money. I don't think they did. They probably thought I was just playing around, not earning money, just, I don't know, wasting time. But I was actually earning very, very good money doing the radios. Wendy's question about working from home, she sent me that because she is about to embark on working from home. She works in an office and she now has the opportunity to work at home 3 days a week, in the office for 2 days, 3 days a week at home. They're setting up a computer and all the stuff for her. And she's just wondering what other people think of that. It depends on the job, obviously. There are many, many people that can't work from home. Bricklayers, for example. Bricklayers can't work from home. Plumbers and electricians, self-employed plumber, let's say a self-employed plumber, he can be based at home. So his work is based at home. He's got his office. He's got his garage, perhaps, full of plumbing bits. But he actually goes out to work, but he's based at home. So loads of people can't work at home. Bricklayers, taxi drivers. You can't work as a taxi driver sitting at home, can you? But some people can. I don't know. It's a funny subject. And I think there are a lot of different views on this. What do you think? Raise rants at protonmail.com. Also, if you've got family, so you start work, say 8 in the morning, say you've got an office in your house, one room is dedicated to your work, that's your office. You go in there at 8 in the morning. Okay, you're at work. Computer's on, the phone is there. That's it, you're working. Wife comes in. I'm just going to pop over to the shops. Do you want anything? No, I'm fine, thanks. Kids come in. Dad, you know what I mean, interruptions, people coming round. Hello, put the kettle on. Very, very difficult. Also, there is this thing that you keep hearing on the news about working from home. People get up in their pyjamas. They start at 9. They're still in their night gear, their pyjamas, dressing gown. Haven't washed, haven't had breakfast. Right, log in on the computer. That's it, I'm at work. Go and have a shower, muck about, have breakfast, back on the computer. Is that a good thing? There's also the social side of it. Now, I have worked from home for decades, as I've said. The social side didn't exist. I was on my own. Tricia was out at work. I'm on my own, apart from the odd caller who wants coffee and biscuits. And there were times that I really missed being in the radio and TV workshop back in the old days. Because back then you get a fault on a telly or something and you're a bit stuck and you could say, hey, Fred, have a look at this. What do you think? And he'd come over. Have you tried that? Oh, that's a thought. I hadn't, thanks. I'll give that a try. I was on my own in my workshop for decades. There's no one else around, no one to chat to, no one to say, do you want a coffee, Ray? I'm putting the kettle on. Nothing. Also having jokes, having a laugh with other people in the workshop or the office, wherever you are. I did miss all that side of it. Of course, a lot of the time, I just got on with the work. I found myself looking up at the clock. Oh, lunchtime already, or Tricia's home. Oh, the day's gone. But there were some days, as I say, where I could have done with a bit of banter with someone else. Now, you won't believe this when I say I've seen a TV advert that I really like, because you know I moan about TV adverts. There are some adverts about showers and walk-in baths or whatever they are for people that are elderly or not perfectly physically abled. Is that the way to put it? Don't want to get into trouble. And the thing is with these adverts, it's a young woman. When I say young, sort of in her 40s. And she's going into this walk-in bath, sit down, close the door. Well, hang on a minute, she's in her 40s. There's nothing wrong with her. And there's a chap, I think there's a couple. She's in a wheelchair, he's got walking sticks or something. And again, they're in their 40s. This latest advert I've seen, it's a genuine old lady. She must be in her late 60s, 70s. No, that's old. I'm 70s. Young, that is. No, seriously. And she gets into this walk-in place, this shower, sits down, pulls the door across the glass door. And it's good because she's a genuine old lady. Not some younger woman that's perfectly fit and capable and doesn't need to sit in a bath when you close the door. So that's good. Not all adverts are bad. I like that one. It's Saturday morning now, by the way. I don't know what the weather's doing. It's not doing much at all. It's dull. Apparently it's meant to be a very, very hot weekend. And there are amber, is it amber or yellow, I think, heat warnings, heat alert. Danger, Will Robinson, and heat alert. Heat alert, then he said something naughty. My foot, that's what I was going to say, my foot. I wasn't going to do a Jim Royal. Did you watch The Royal Family? It wasn't too bad, that programme. I did like it, I must admit. Some of it was a bit silly. So we've got a heat alert. Oh, had to make a phone call first thing this morning. Had an email. You know my computer parts I've ordered? Well, the motherboard hasn't turned up. Apparently it's lost. So I had to phone and, what do you want to do? Do you want your money back? No, I don't want my money back. I want the motherboard. Anyway, it'll be here tomorrow on Sunday. So that's good. Some good news to start off the day. Oh, email from Ron. Sorry, Ron, I nearly forgot about you. How remiss of me. Ron was talking about my saying no. Do you want to go to a party this Saturday, Ray? I can't. Oh, what a shame. I'd love to. I can't Saturday. We've already got something arranged. I don't do that anymore. A party at your house? No, thanks. I don't like you or your house. Clear off. No, I'm not that bad, honestly. But he sent me some text here. Nice ways to say no. I really appreciate you asking, but I can't. Well, that's not very good, is it? Thanks for thinking of me, but I'll pass this time. You see, if you do that, they'll ask you again, and you can't keep saying that. All these here, there are lots of them here. Thanks for that, Ron. There are 20. Maybe another time, but not right now. You see, again, you're leaving yourself open to another time. Let me think about it, and I'll get back to you. No, that's no good. You've left it open again. You need to say no. You need to be decisive. No, I don't want to go to your house because I don't like you. They won't ask you again. End of. But this is really good, Ron. I'm flattered, but I'm not available. I'm not flattered. I'm annoyed you've asked me. I'd rather not. But thank you anyway. That's a little bit, but it depends what the question is, doesn't it? It depends what it is they're inviting you to, I suppose. Thank you for that, Ron. That's quite interesting. I think I've told you before, I knew a lady, I won't mention who she is, called a spade a spade. Would you like to go to so-and-so? I'm not going there. Don't like the people. Dreadful place. She was very blunt. But I think sometimes you have to be. Ron and I were discussing this via email, and there are times when you have to not come across as rude, but verging on being rude. Raise rants at protonmail.com. What do you do when you've been invited somewhere and you really don't want to go? Do you lie? We've been through this before, haven't we? I did have a few emails, but not many. I think people lie and they don't like to tell me they lie rather than be blunt up front. Tricia is making a cake. She's roasting Hazel's nuts. No, that's not right. Roasting hazel nuts. That's right. Sorry. Silly me. She's making a cake because daughter number 3, it's her birthday coming up. So we're having a sort of party thing tomorrow evening, Sunday evening tomorrow. So that'll be good. Poor old Hazel having her nuts roasted. Right, moving on. Mustn't dig these holes that I can't get out of. I think that's about it. I haven't got much more to say. I know that a lot of you would like me to sit here waffling for another half hour, or all day in fact. I don't know why, but a lot of people seem to want me to do that. Perhaps I should do a live Big Brother thing, leave the microphone on, stream it live while I'm in here, in my high-tech studio, my radio room, chatting to people on the radio, moaning about the weather, swearing about things. Perhaps I should do that. Who wants me to do that? A live stream, 24 hours a day. You'd hear me at night getting up, going to the bathroom. About 6 times. Do you know, it's awful. I won't go into that. But it is awful. 6 times every night I'm up. This is why I'm able to say, at 3 o'clock this morning the birds were singing. And at 1:30 this morning I saw a fox in the garden. So for those of you wondering what on earth I'm doing up all these times, I'm not up all night. I'm not nocturnal. I do sleep a little bit at night, but not a great deal. For the younger listeners, you'll find out when you get older. You'll find out what it's like having to get up every 5 minutes at night. In the old days, of course, what I keep thinking, the older I get, the more I look back to my teens. I'd go to a nightclub, Friday night, nightclub. Nightclub closes at 2 in the morning. I'm home at 2:30, tin of beans, half a loaf of bread, baked beans, wonderful, half a loaf of bread, get to bed, at sort of gone 3 o'clock. The next morning, Saturday, because we did a full 6-day week in the old days, Saturday, 8:30, I'm at work. No hangover, no feeling tired, just get on with the work. And then go out again Saturday night and do the same thing. I couldn't do that now, it would kill me. Oh, let me know, by the way, how your town has changed over the years, over the decades, but also changes in your life. Do you keep thinking back to your teens, if you're getting on in years now? Do you keep going back to your teens in your mind and thinking, well, I used to be able to do that, I used to be able to climb that ladder, I can't now. I used to be able to lift those paving slabs and move them to the other side of the garden. I can't now, I have to get someone else to do it. Or a set of wheels and take them over one at a time. The trouble is, and I know this is true, it's not just me, it's all old people. No, I'm not old. It's all people of my age. Mustn't use the word old. We all think that we're still young. So I still think as an 18-year-old, and not in every way, obviously, but my mind is young. My body's getting old. So my mind says, hey, Ray, let's go and do this. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. And my body's saying, what? You must be joking. I'm not doing that. Dear happy days. Grow old disgracefully. That's the way to do it. Disgracefully. Love it. Didn't go to the club last night. Friday we didn't go. Why didn't we go? I can't remember. Something was happening. Got the party tomorrow. I can't waffle anymore. I need a cup of tea. Oh, by the way, saw on the telly this morning, the more tea you drink, the longer you'll live. The trouble is, the more tea I drink, the more times I have to get up at night. Right, thank you for listening. Lovely as always chatting to you. Really enjoy it. I shall see you on Wednesday with a midweek message. I shall tell you how the birthday party went. Daughter number 3 is, what is she, 35, I think, 35? So it's not a children's thing. Should be quite good. Have a few beers. And the weather is meant to be really good tomorrow evening. So we shall be in the garden. Be good. Be bad. If you're bad, don't get caught. and I shall see you on Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye for now.